One of the most important things in any homicide investigation, of course, is the interview of
Right.
witnesses. And the witnesses run the gamut in this case. So let's start at the two bars that they went to. I believe it was C.F. McCarthy's
Right. And Waterfall.
and the Waterfall.
Yeah.
So the first bar, C.F. McCarthy's, I think, which they were at earlier in the night, I think that Karen, according to the bartender, had 6 vodka tonics in a very short period of time at that location. And then they left at some point and went to the second bar. I don't know if she did have any drinks at the second bar. Some said she had anywhere from 6 to 9 drinks. I don't know if that's correct or not. Again, we don't have, as we say all the time on this show, we don't have access to the homicide case folder that will give us accurate information on the interviews. The interviews of the bartenders. Now, look, the bartenders not only they're interviewed, they potentially could be plaintiffs they could be sued in a civil matter because you're not supposed to serve someone once they're intoxicated. And bartenders can actually get arrested for that. So, but they gave statements, and they gave statements as to, the times of play. And of course, that's backed up with video cameras to see when they actually left those bars. Now, all the other interviews, of course, you mentioned the people inside 34 Fairview, but also when they get to that scene, and even before that, there's females that meet Karen Reed. One of them, I think, drove her car to the scene, and she immediately pointed out where John O'Keefe was when no one else could see him, and she ran over to him. And at that scene, she made what's called a spontaneous utterance, and that was, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him."
Yeah, Billy.
Why is that more important than some other type of utterance, Mike?
Well, Billy, a spontaneous utterance is always considered reliable under the law and always admissible in court, either to, exculpate someone or implicate someone in a crime. And someone suggesting, "Oh my God, I may have done something." And in this case here, I see 3 areas where around 5 o'clock in the morning, after she woke up sometime after like 4:30 in the morning, and of the 29th, and she immediately called someone. She called a friend, and she stated, and this friend testified at the grand jury, "I wonder if he's dead. Maybe he got hit by a snowplow," which is kind of a strange thing to suggest to somebody when you're looking for your boyfriend. You just think maybe he fell asleep somewhere, and you're really mad at him. Why would you suggest that he was dead, and B, he was hit by an object like a snowplow? That happened around 5 o'clock in the morning. At around 5:30, when McCabe, and another girl helped her look for O'Keefe, she showed them apparently a broken taillight in the car, and apparently, according to the testimony of the grand jury, the McCabe said that Reed said to her, "Could I have hit him?" And she showed him the taillight, thinking, and now she's sobering up at this point. Remember, it's been hours. She slept. She's awake now. And she's getting to the point where she's maybe realizing, holy smokes. And then after she runs and she finds the body when they drove by the house on Fairview. No one else apparently testified that they could actually see a body or anything like lying in the snow, except, Reed herself said, "That's him." And they couldn't even see that what she was pointing at. And then later on, when the officer came, first responding officer, he had to use, the searchlight on the side of the car to even see where the ladies were. And then the third statement that she makes spontaneously, she was in shock. The fire department paramedics were there, and she said several times, "I hit him, I hit him." Now, these are said spontaneously. These are said without preparation without speaking to an attorney. These are said spontaneously, and we believe that under the law, spontaneous, unguarded statements, those statements that you say before you're even thinking about what you're saying, are the most reliable because they give away your true character and truly what you're thinking. So these are damning bits of statements she made on 3 occasions in that morning about what may have happened to him. It shows a consciousness of guilt. She's coming around to this. Now, remember, this is before she spoke to an attorney. She's coming around realizing, oh my God, what have I done? And that's where I think is very damning evidence against her. Besides the taillight, as Jennifer said, I think this is amazing information that the jury's going to hear.
Besides the information we're talking about in regards to interviewing witnesses, how about the physical evidence in the way of the broken tail light on the scene, and also, Jennifer, you mentioned the glass that he had in his hand, and there were also, I believe, microscopic particles of the glass and of the tail light in his shirt, according to the medical examiner's office. That's pretty powerful evidence, and for the people that say the police planted that there, they planted the microscopic evidence too. I mean, how are they that smart to do that if they were planting that? I would like to know that.
Right. I mean, the problem is it's just, it doesn't add up, Bill. And by the way, I want to say, Professor, what a great summation of all of those statements that were made. I couldn't have said it better. You did such a good job of setting out these spontaneous utterances to Carrie, to Jen McCabe, and then at the scene to the EMS worker.